What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Wednesday, December 30th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Drew Holiday from the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Miami Heat, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and although they've been pretty good versus opposing point guards, Drew Holiday averaged 39.1 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 35 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. He scored 50 fantasy points last game in 26 minutes with a 24% usage rate. He's projected at 36.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.7 times value. He's $6,400 FanDuel salary and the same price on DraftKings. So I like Drew Holiday here versus the Miami Heat. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Devontae Graham from the Charlotte Hornets playing the Dallas Mavericks, who have a good defense overall, and although they've been good versus opposing shooting guards, Devontae Graham averaged 34.2 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 35 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. He scored 33 fantasy points in 35 minutes last game with an 18% usage rate. He's projected at 33.8 fantasy points here tonight, and that's 5.7 times value. He's only $5,900 FanDuel salary and $700 more on DraftKings. So I love that FanDuel price. Vegas thinks there's going to be 222.5 points scored in this game. So I like Devontae Graham here versus the Dallas Mavericks. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Cam Reddish from the Atlanta Hawks playing the Brooklyn Nets, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Cam Reddish averaged 20.2 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 27 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. He scored 32 fantasy points in 26 minutes last game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 25 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.7 times value. He's $4,400 FanDuel salary and the same price on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 238.5 points scored in this game. So we got a super high scoring game. Lots of fantasy points to go around in this one. So I like Cam Reddish here versus the Brooklyn Nets. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Robert Covington from the Portland Trailblazers playing the LA Clippers, who have a good defense overall, but they give up the third most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Robert Covington averaged 29.7 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He scored 26 fantasy points in 37 minutes last game with an 11% usage rate. He's projected at 27.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 5,200 FanDuel salary and 500 less on DraftKings. So I love that DraftKings price. So I like Robert Covington here versus the LA Clippers. Okay, moving on to the center position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Tristan Thompson from the Boston Celtics playing the Memphis Grizzlies, who have the second worst defense overall, and they give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing centers. Tristan Thompson averaged 29.9 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 30 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. He scored 27 fantasy points in 26 minutes last game with a 16% usage rate. He's projected at 22.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. He's 4,100 FanDuel salary and 200 more on DraftKings. So I like Tristan Thompson here versus the Memphis Grizzlies. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.